Well, Manchester United lose 2-0 at home to Newcastle United. And I suppose, as expected, the better side, the better club won today. But fuck me, does that tell you everything you need to know as far as where this club is at, the week this club has had, the the season, the month, the year, the decade this club has had culminates in that first 20 minutes. Culminates in the first 20 minutes. And the thing is, right, is a lot of the time, everybody is very quickly defaulted to the manager is the only problem. If you change the manager, these players will suddenly play. And one of the things that became ever apparent with every passing managerial appointment we made, the new manager bounce, synonymous with a club. You see it with Wolves at the moment. Every time they get a new manager, bounce. Players respond, players play well, players get up for a fight, players tune in, they care just a little bit. But then the honeymoon period phases out, and then the players sort of go back to a median average or a standard, their standard. And then you can see results either go one way or go the other. Newcastle United could have had this game buried 4-5-0 in 20 minutes. Like, the Tottenham game. That Tottenham game where it looked like in like 20 minutes they were, what was it, 4-5-0 down at St. James's Park. That was it. That was exactly the same sort of performance, but Newcastle couldn't get more than two. And do you know what? It it reigns true that this manager is somebody who doesn't accept what he sees, right? He doesn't accept it. He doesn't have better there. But he subbed off Joshua Zirkzee after 30 minutes. In the first half, he was just like, this shit ain't working. This is shit. Absolutely shit. So he makes a change. First half substitution. Looks at somebody on the pitch and says, Xerxes, you are doing absolutely nothing for me. Nothing for this team. No pace, no intensity, no fight, no fire. Subs him off, and that guy just walks off down the tunnel. Like, he doesn't even go to the bench or shake hands with anyone. No, just off the pitch down the tunnel. Yeah, see ya. My night is done. And to be quite frankly honest, may potentially be the last we see of him in a Manchester United shirt, because if you see a player walk out of Old Trafford after being subbed off like that, we gave Ronaldo stick, right? We gave Ronaldo stick for disappearing off down the tunnel. Joshua Zirkzee's just gone and done the same thing. Like, this is absolutely diabolical. Evening foes, we're both in the mud with our clubs. Well, I'll say Man United are much worse off, right? And maybe this is just, the brown tinted glasses that we'll both probably wear when we'll say, no, my club's worse. No, my club's worse. No, my club's worse. But I genuinely feel like we're Manchester with West Ham, your issues are quite centric around a manager. You don't think that the players are necessarily as bad as they are performing. They can put together a better performance um, with a different tactical approach. With Amorim, it's like it doesn't. It's probably living proof that there is no managerial setup or tactical setup that these players can be instructed to perform, that they actually perform. Like, it's one of the few examples in football history where no matter what you do, nothing works. Absolutely nothing works. And this is an example of it. And the problem is that we're seeing players who are paid so much money that fail the fundamental basics that non-league players can perform in their sleep. That, like, fuck it, under nines, Sunday league kids team down your local park do this better than these professional football players. Rashford didn't play today. Bruno didn't play today. Rightfully so. Those two are fucking finished. But look at the rest of them. Look at the rest of the people probably would sit there and think, oh, if Bruno played, we would have won today. Oh, if Rashford played, we would have won today. We probably would have lost by more. We probably would have lost by more. Honestly, this is the reality. This is the reality. And the worst thing about it is we've got a situation with our board right now that we don't have faith nor trust that they see this situation and go, we need to put billions into this just to sort out the playing squad, put billions towards, getting rid of people. They're going on cost cutting exercises, and you got sources in the media talking about, oh, sorry guys, January's going to be really quiet. We can't afford anybody. We can't sell anybody. We've got to stick with this squad. Go again. Let's get up again. These people not understand that we've got Liverpool next at Anfield. And then we've got Arsenal away in the FA Cup after that. There are no, I don't even think Southampton is a game that we can look at and realistically say we're going to win. We can't. There are 0 teams in the Premier League. Ipswich today, by the way, relegation doomed Ipswich, beating Chelsea 2-0 today. Right? Chelsea up in 3rd place in the league. And Ipswich have beaten them. If Ipswich can beat a team like Chelsea, what the hell would they do to this United team? I mean, we drew against them 1-1, but my God, they would have a field day. They would have a field day. Big up Fuzz, big up Anthony Herbert. United are completely and utterly finished. Yeah, the playing squad, absolutely. And the ownership, listen, the protests have got to come back. They have got to get onto the streets again. Get more games cancelled if you have to get your message heard. Yeah. Protest the ever-loving fuck out of this ownership. Press them hard. Because nothing, literally, if you go quietly into that night, they will royally fuck you every single time. If you get relegated and there's no complaints and Old Trafford is not burning to the ground, they won't care. They won't care. That is what this ownership is synonymous with. Not caring. The only time they actually started to care about the situation was when their balls and the financial pocket were to the wall. They couldn't afford any way out. Well, guess what? Ineos and Sir Ratcliffe gave them a way out. They gave them a way out, and now Sir Ratcliffe, rather than looking at the situation and saying, hey, just so you know, Ineos, I'm just going to borrow a couple billion out of here and place it into this asset. I mean, Sir Ratcliffe is, technically the owner / lead person in the ownership of the asset of Ineos Petroleum. And here we are seeing him cancelling all sorts of things. He's cutting costs all over the place, but one place we're not seeing costs getting cut is players' wages. Do you honestly think that anyone on that pitch today deserves to get paid? Even Starboy Ahmad, absolutely horrendous performance. Hoyland horrendous, Xerxes horrendous, Dalot, Casemiro, Ericsson, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Maguire, Martinez, Anana, horrendous performances, all 11 players. Yoro came on, didn't really do anything. Garnacho came on, absolutely awful again. Anthony only came on for really like 7, 8, 10 minutes actually. And Kobbie Mainoo, the only shining spark in that team. One player out of 15. One player out of 15 actually put their shirt on the right way round today. Woke up on the right side of the bed. And that's a shame. That's a shame because when you look at the situation, it's like Man United, if you want to get out of this rut, you're looking at replacing the whole team. You're looking at replacing the whole team because this is the situation. The rot is so infectious. Once it infects one player, everyone else they come into contact with gets infected as well, and it seeps in to the veins of every player that ever joins this club. The rate in which players throw in the towel and become shit at Manchester United outpaces the rate that this board has ever operated on removing the cancer. The cancer spreads faster than the surgeon removes it, which is why January is so important to Manchester United, just to stop us from going into the relegation. So forget talking about top four now. Forget talking about top half of the table now. Just keep us out of relegation. Because let me tell you this, at Christmas time, we have 22 points. Guess what? Teams have had 28 points at Christmas and still went down. So people will say, Man United can't get relegated. No, you can't get relegated. Yes, you can. It's factually and statistically proven that a team can be relegated by having 22 points. It is factually evident. It has happened before. Relegation form, this fuzzy better off keeping Ten Hag. Well, this is the only issue I have. I thought that with Ten Hag, make the best of a bad situation. He wasn't doing that and persisted with, bending the knee to player power. So I think as far as a manager goes, what we've got in Amorim is not what we had in Ten Hag. Ten Hag looked at players that were major problems and thought, well, I'll just keep enabling them, right? You saw how the complexity in terms of respect for a manager went when Ten Hag challenged a player like Jadon Sancho. Fallouts all over the place. Respect in the manager lost. Players stopped performing for the manager. So player power, doesn't like it when their buddies or they get pressed by a manager to perform. Yeah, this manager that we've got in Amorim does not take bullshit from players, and that's what you see with Rashford. Brought back into the squad today, again, unused substitution, and he was only there because we had suspensions to Agassi and Bruno. The only reason. But unused substitute again. Rashford's been ostracised. We may have just seen the last game for Xerxes. However many players, Garnacho could be linked with the exit door. Amorim's is not chuffed with having to play Garnacho. Would rather not. Casemiro doesn't really get picked all that much. Ericsson, not that much. There's players here that Amorim has taken one look at and said, "Yeah, you're not it for me." So there's two things you can do. You can either start talking to your agent and get a move out of this club, move away from this club, or you can start training to my standards. And what do people do? These players, they don't train to standards. They just don't do it. And this is not new, guys. This is not new. We've had this from managers galore previously. We saw it with LVG, for fuck's sakes. LV fucking G. Back then, the old guard of Man United thought, the means of training were unreasonable at times. And then we go to Mourinho. Everyone says, "Oh, well, this guy he's not what he used to be." And then you get to Wally, and then it's like, "Oh, the tactics are crap." Oh, the common denominator about all of these managers, by the way, is that the manager changes, but the players never do. The players never really do. But when a player leaves Manchester United, they don't leave for good money, and they don't generally leave for transfer fees. They leave because their contract ran out and the club cannot afford to keep them on any longer. Cannot afford to keep them on any longer. And they don't. They don't go renewing the contracts as such for some of them, because let's just be honest, right? Some of these players, they want to sell, but they don't know how to, because the negotiations have been so bad when they put them in these places. The wages are just so damn high. Nobody wants your players, Manchester United. Nobody does. People who don't watch these guys train every day, who don't engage with these guys every day, have sussed out your players more so than so many people who live and breathe Manchester United. How is it clubs take one look at Man United players and say, "Oh, stay as far away from them as possible"? How is that possible? How is that possible that then for a decade, Manchester United look at these players and go, "Oh, these guys are so great. They're just the best. I love you guys. Yeah, give him another 50k on his contract. I think he deserves." Look at that smile. Literally, the only thing that's not prevalent as much in this club is guys in the boardroom seemingly being sexually attracted to these players. But then again, who knows with some of the fruit loops that we've got at this club? Who fucking knows? Really, who knows? Ruben Amorim should just walk away. And people will say, Amorim's going to get the sack. What's to say he doesn't turn around and just say, "Listen, if I'll tell you what, watch out for February. Watch out for February. If Amorim does not get sufficient backing in January in removing a lot of these players and bringing a lot of players in, watch out for that exit door. That guy might just lace up his shoes, pop his jacket on, see you later, mutual agreement, no thank you, this doesn't work for me. I want to make change. I cannot make change. This isn't working. This club is doomed to fail." And then what do Ineos say? What does Sir Jim Ratcliffe say? What does Omar Barada say? What does any of these people say? Seriously, what do any of these people say? What do they do? Do they go after Gareth Southgate? I doubt they would, but Jesus Christ. Big up Fuzzy, you're still in the mud, mate. We are. Big up Sir Michael. Unlucky with today as well. for yourself with Ipswich, Kieran McKenna, the PE teacher's teaching assistant, the substitute teacher, is finding a tune at Ipswich. Sod it, your club's worse. Yeah, at least we're on the same page, early doors. At least we're on the same page. Loppy's still there. How? If Liverpool can't score at least 10 goals past this garbage squad, well, watch this space, because at least we improved throughout the game. But what does that even mean? Oh, we improved, so we weren't conceding chances for fun. Like it's so over. It's so over for Man United. We're done. We're so done. Ineos are completely broke, no money. They act like there's absolutely no money, but I'll tell you what, if they're an ownership that understands, that looks at the situation and really feels the urgency to do something, then if there was £10 million, they'd put £10 million towards improving the club. But they won't. They won't. Southampton should be winning. I can almost guarantee they will. Big up Fuzzy. Big ups to Forest Rye. Hope all is good with you, mate. Manchester United are trash, Fuzz. Not on Amorim. Absolutely not on Amorim. And this is the thing. Amorim's come into this club, and everything he's more or less said aligns with the general consensus of a Manchester United fan. When the fans say, "Oh, these players are shit," I can almost guarantee that Amorim says to his guys behind the closed doors, "Yeah, these guys are fucking shit. These are awful players, awful players." And this is, I mean, people say it in the media as well. Low IQ, no street smarts about any of these players. You know, just no footballing intelligence in this team. The individual technical quality is absolutely through the floor. It's not sky high. It's gone down straight to the core of the earth. It's that bad. There's so many things wrong with the players at this team, and the ownership has never once looked at this team and gone, they are the problem. Get rid of the squad. Get rid of the team. The whole team, everybody. Goodbye, get gone. We saw it from news media. Oh, two players are safe at this football club. Everybody else is prone to selling. Everybody else is prone to leaving Man United. I don't agree. I don't think that's the truth of the matter. I think that this board look at this squad and think, well, half of that team can stay, the other half we'll see what we can do. And if we can't get buyers in January, then we'll keep them and we'll try and sell them in the summer. And if that doesn't work, we'll play them for another season and see if we can sell them in January. Round and round we go, right? Round and round we go. Big up man, never saw the game, only saw the result. Oh, well, I'll tell you what, Ravi. You're actually, because you're not a Man United fan, if you looked at that first 20 minutes, that's all you need to watch. The rest of the game was absolutely the rest of the game was dead, right? But let's be real, Newcastle could have just decided, well, actually, I fancy a third goal, or a fourth goal, or a fifth goal, or a sixth goal. I could have fancied scoring for fun and for free if I really wanted to. But that first 20 minutes should have been about 5 or 6. You know, that's just 20 minutes. The rest of the game, as I've said, was more or less dead. Question: when you concede the first goal, what should have changed for United to get back in the game? Everyone just stopped playing like a bozo. Like, this is something else that we can't seem to sort out. Is dealing with the opposition switching the play. This happened under Ten Hag as well. This happened under Ten Hag, and it's happened under Roddy before that, and I think probably Ralph Rangnick's conceded a few goals from this. But switching the play, cross to the back post, man unmarked. Usually is the case, right? Dealing with set pieces is not our forte. We can't deal with set pieces. We can't execute set pieces. And just crosses, cut back passes, crosses, you name it. Might as well call Onana Count Dracula because the guy's a vampire. He's scared of crosses. Or call him a crack addict. You know, the way he's just sat there on his line. He enjoys his line. He loves his lines. It was how he, how he plays goalkeeper some of the games. You might as well say that he's done a few lines beforehand, before stepping onto the pitch. Jesus Christ. Newcastle fans were singing throughout the whole game, Fuzz. Oh, yeah. They might as well have been the home team, to be fair. Wagwan. Let's start Fuzz. Wagwan Donna. Amorim needs specific profiles to suit his system, knowing that your fan base is not patient or won't wait 5 years. Why did they appoint him? He is not that guy. He's not the guy from Man United. Well, I think he is. It's just the board need to back him. Seriously, you get the right manager, but even Mr. Right can still be Mr. Failure because the mitigating circumstances of having bosses that don't really, give you what you need, right? They don't deliver because there's so many cogs in this machine that have got to tick, and so many parts of this machine that you have to expect excellency, but you get mediocrity. So this board have got so much work to do to deliver on the system, but that's just it. Look at how many managers out there. Amorim needs specific players profiles to suit his system. If this is what the mood will be with the Manchester United fans, let's just be real here for a second. Then maybe we shouldn't get a manager. Just literally have a playing squad coached by themselves. Let them decide how they play. Because every manager's ideas require the team of coaches, bosses, boardroom members. They've got to be on the same page. What's the idea? Get the right players that fit what this manager wants, because the manager wants to do this. If the fans can't be patient in seeing out building a team in the vision of this manager, they won't do it for any manager. They won't do it. So why have a manager? Why have a head coach? Why have anybody? There would be no point to it. There would be absolutely no point. So the only way to tell if a manager is right or wrong, or a head coach is right or wrong for Manchester United, is by backing the individual appointed. Absolutely. You can't just go halfway there. You have to go all the way. Because then again, and this is it, look, Ineos said it themselves. They said it themselves. They don't believe managers previously have been fully backed. So they want to head into an era where recruitment at the club is one of the best recruitment processes in the world, right? Recruiting the best in class, the best talent. Have we seen this so far? No, we have not. So could we sit here and say that it's just false promises from Ineos? Possibly. I missed you over Christmas. Family. Hectic family. I look at you, Fuzzy. I think you need a hug. Don't give Fuzzy a hug. I just need my team to be good. It's sort of gone are the days where we're concerned about whether we're winning trophies or not. We just want to be good. We just want to be we just want to be happy, right? Go onto social media and ban every single person that sits there and sees United score one goal and think, oh my God, we're going to make a comeback and win the league now. Yeah, every other one of these teams are shit. Oh, they're all bums. Mighty Man United are back. Find every one of these people on Twitter and every other social media platform and ban these guys. Ban them. United Trey, for example. The guy who says anything happens with Man United, guess what? The opposite happens. Ban him too. Ban everybody. Donna, please stop. Who governs in the building? Really? Don't know. Can't see him. Answer, your arms are longer than mine. Oh God. Because is it true Xerxes can go on loan in January? I think they might just sell him, mate. They might just sell him. Tom Helton, a fellow show member. Well, we might just have to turn Wednesday nights into AA meetings. Big ups, old school gunner. Big ups to you, bro. Oh God. Yeah. We all need counselling. We need therapy. Get Tom, right? You know the good, the bad, and the ugly, right? Get us a therapist to be the fourth mediator, right? And transform it into an AA meeting. Yeah, please transform it into an AA meeting. What day? Wednesday's New Year's Day. If we've got a good, the bad, and the ugly show coming up on Wednesday, yeah, get us a therapist and we'll do an AA meeting. Sorry about the result. And you manager's a huge task ahead of him. The only the only thing that we can really give him is time and patience, because the one of the things that we can't allow to happen is to sit here and say, well, the manager's the problem's got to go. Not before these players have pissed off, long before we ever get to that conclusion with the manager. What the fuck? All three of you would be better off checking into mental institutions. Facts. United will be lucky to get 80 million combined for a few players. Yeah. So yes, he wants your respect for his club. And they're in second place at the moment. Can you show us your respect for his team? Mate, I can't even respect my own team. I can't, like, literally, I cannot even respect my own team. Like, bro, I will disrespect my own team. I will disrespect these pricks that put on Manchester United shirts and call themselves professional footballers every week. Mate, Forest being second in the league completely speaks for itself. Forest basically are doing what Manchester United should be doing, right? They are doing what Manchester United should be doing. And I can't even say that United are doing what Forest should be doing. I can't even say that because Forest, by a bog standard average, are still considerably high above us in the table. They'd still be more or less top half. So we're not even as good as an average Forest team. We're worse than an average Forest team. So Nuno Espirito Santo is you know he never minds demanding respect. Just keep doing your thing. Keep keep going in your lane, and it's all gonna come. It's all gonna come to you. Tractor on Newcastle. These players are not United quality. Haven't been for a long time. Very average. Well, check through this team, right? Check through this team. How many of these players get into top clubs, or top clubs around Europe or in the Prem? Let's put a benchmark here, right? For example, Newcastle United. Look at this team. Does Højlund start for Newcastle? No. Does Xerxes start for Newcastle? No. Does Diallo start for Newcastle? Yeah, probably. Does Dallo start for Newcastle? No. Does Casemiro start for Newcastle? Eder Joelinton, Tonali and Guimaraes? Nope. Does Ericsson start for Newcastle? Nope. Does Masraoui start for Newcastle? Yeah, probably. Does De Ligt start for Newcastle? Yeah, the Fabian Schär maybe yet. Does Maguire start for Newcastle? Why would he need to? You got Dan Burn there. Does Martinez start for Newcastle? Nope. Does Onana start for Newcastle ahead of Dubravka? With the clownery that goes on with him? Probably not. So two players from our team, or two or three players maybe get into that Newcastle team today. 2 or 3 players. And that's for a Newcastle team. And we're there's question marks. There are question marks, even for the guys that I picked. Question marks, maybe. Southgate on speed dial. I hope not. I pray not. Amorim job. Well, he needs a fucking rim job from these players. Bloody fuckers. But yeah, big ups to Ty, mate. You heard my song today. Oh my god. Please, people need to keep their ears, Donna. Life is so good for you right now. Second in the table. Factual information. Got to go early start. Feel your pain at the moment. Happy New Year to you and all in the chat. Happy New Year's to you, Tony. Should see you soon for some more shows. Whether we're doing the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly on Wednesday. If we are, then I'll definitely see you for that. I'm loving it, to be fair, mate. Hope Arsenal drop points, so we stay there. What a shocker for you guys tonight. Never seen that coming. Yeah, Chelsea. That's two losses in a row for Chelsea. But you know what? As much as I'd like to take the piss, I can't. Literally, I'm just not allowed to take the piss out of anybody right now. Fair play, Fuzzy, mate. Well, fair play to Forest. Of course, I'll assess the game against Ipswich on my channel, mate. It's going quickly to shit. Well, thankfully, you've got January transfer window coming up, and knowing how your board operate, there's probably another 10 signings coming in. Can we swap boards for a couple of transfer windows? I just want to see something. I just want to see something with some of these players. Luke Littler struggling currently in the darts. Yeah, that's the thing with darts, isn't it? It's a lot of players just have so many ups and downs. It's like Michael van Gerwen. It's like used to be easily by far like the Max Verstappen of darts, and then he sort of faded away, and loads of other Zoomers have rocked in and ended up taking the mantle. All the best, Tony. Answers a question himself. That's true. He does like looking at himself in the mirror. His missus constantly walks into a room when he's making out with a mirror. She just doesn't get why. Man United needs a superhero with big red boots and bright red cape. I'm talking about Super Fuzz and his chocolate milkshake. Mate, I will be the anti-hero. I would go in there and I'd Thanos. I'd literally go in there and be Thanos with the Golden Club. The Fuzzinator. I'm more like the Terminator. Except every player at Carrington is now suddenly turned into Sarah Connor. They're all getting it. Every single one of them, literally every single player at Carrington is turned into Sarah Connor. I am taking all of them out. Notice Wednesday's New Year's Day Fuzzy. I'll still be pissed from the night before. Well, the reason to be on there, Anthony. It's a bar, Gav. It's to you, mate. Hope you're doing well. Anthony will be on the crazy suit. Will be, yeah. The players don't fit the system, surely. They absolutely do not. They absolutely do not. And this is the thing, you probably can see it with how many changes that Amorim has to make with players playing different positions every other game. You sat there and it's just like, if players are suited to a system, you know their best positions and you're playing them in those positions constantly. The fact that Amorim's constantly moving, even his better players are moving into different positions, just shows you that even his best players are not fit for this system. If you think about it, even the best players are not fit for his system because they keep getting moved around. Crazy stuff. Already had that day. Maybe we should give some to Arteta. Give him an exploding chocolate bomb, like the one like Hitler tried to give to Winston Churchill. That sort of chocolate bomb. I told you that's a secret with my mirror. It's like, if you want to wonder, right, how Anthony's Christmas tree was so wonky, right, in his living room, it's because it got a bit heated with the mirror one night, and they sort of stumbled into it, and he forgot to fix it up. I'm telling you, that mirror has seen more positions than Anthony's missus has. But Jesus Christ, as far as next weekend, question Fuzzy, where will Man United finish and what players will be coming in January? Man United bottom half of the table easily, guaranteed bottom half of the table. We're not getting top half. Players coming in January, left wing back Nuno Mendes. They're looking at attacking left back, and stops Dallo from playing, because I think Dallow's been absolutely abysmal. One of the worst players for Manchester United on average at the moment. So we do need a left-sided player to play over at left wing back. Ideally, we'd like left wingers to be playing at a left wing back position, because when we play with wingers, attackers at wing back positions, we tend to find the back of the net a lot more than we do with defenders at wing backs. Danny Olmo's situation is interesting. I'll take Danny Olmo for a 10 in a heartbeat. We need at least two number eights, and I'll tell you one player that we absolutely need. We're definitely not getting in January, but the summer we need to go all out for him is Mateus Cunha. Imagine that if we've got two number 10s, one side you got Olmo, the other side you got Cunha. Prem proven one side, very good, high quality. Olmo on the other side, Spanish technician. Have a proper striker up top. That's a sorted front three right there. That's a sorted front three, but the wing backs we need to sign attacking options as well as defensive options, because we need to find balance in the wide areas. You need two. We've got Ugarte for one of those two midfielders in the number 8, but you need another one that's got good balance to them and is very patient with the ball and can play good build-up stuff, but also has got a bit of a defensive head on their shoulders as well. Having somebody like a Zubimendi would be very ideal, very, very quintessential to playing possession football. What does Amorim like? Possession football. And he's got an eye to defending. Plus, he's got a bulldog with Ugarte next to him. That's a very complementative midfield duo. The centre backs, you're probably going to need to sign players to replace individuals in that team. So like Lenny Yoro needs more time to adapt and sort of grow himself as a player. De Ligt, we need to have quality in depth. So we've got players that can, cover for De Ligt when he's not fit and available. Maguire's not really going to get further than just a backup centre back. Martinez is becoming ever more a liability with every passing game, and it's now becoming a genuine issue that he's not asserting himself physically enough. So we'll probably need to replace him. And Anana and Bayendier, there's two goalkeepers that need replacing. So there's so many players that need to come into this team just to begin sorting this mess out. I did read Rashford to West Ham. Tom will love that. I will love it. The quicker Rashford can leave my club, the better. Just so you know that relegation's trending. Wonder who they're talking about. Let's read some of the comments that Amorim's spoken about. There's quite a few. There's quite a few managerial comments. So Amorim says it's really hard on us. They were the better team, and they started very strong. It's very hard for us to turn it around after we conceded the first goal because of the results before, and we didn't have the positioning to cope with the difficult moments. The players suffered a lot on the pitch, and it was really hard on us. Newcastle are a better team. Oh yeah, that's pretty obvious. Ruben Amorim says that it's really easy to make that evaluation after the game has started. I have to do it before. I'm the only guy who can do it before to try to understand how they play. Josh Zirkzee is a player for Manchester United. We want more power sometimes in front. We are suffering always the first goal from set pieces, so he picked more guys for set pieces. We're trying to solve problems in the team, but we have a lot of problems, and sometimes you push one side and the other side is open. Obviously no balance in the team there. Amorim on Zirkzee, you have to think about the team, but also the player. The player is suffering. I thought the team was suffering, and we needed another midfielder to have more ball. It was really tough for me to do that, but I've spoken to Josh as it was important for Josh to go out. I know that Josh is a really good guy, but when he went to the tunnel, I can understand that some guys can be in a bad way, but he is a really good lad in his life. We will support Josh and continue. Newcastle were better than Manchester United. They weren't better than Josh. Well, yeah. I'm going to ask if you will change his approach. Maybe, or you can continue with your idea and they have to change the coach. It is a choice that everyone has to make in football. I think that this is the best thing for the team. I will continue to pass my message easily. Well, yeah, there you go. So even with this situation, he's not changing. He's not changing. He's not going to change his style of play. And just to further his comment here, you cannot go back. We've only had 4 training sessions altogether. I will continue to do my idea until the end. That is really clear. United are being dragged into a relegation battle, so we have to fight. It is a really difficult moment. One of the more difficult moments in the history of Manchester United, and we have to address it with honesty. Well, just some of the comments from Ruben Amorim there. But yeah, there's truth there. Last time Man United was relegated was under Tommy Doherty. Yeah, yeah. Well, it's not our. At least it's not our first rodeo. Fat load of shit. Fat load of shit. Coping mechanisms. This is. But yeah, I absolutely stand by the manager because what he speaks is truth. It's like you change, do you just do what every other manager's done and bend the knee to players again? Are the players more important than the manager at Manchester United? Because according to some of the players, they're bigger than the club. And here's the thing: they get paid the same amount of money that the best players in the world get paid. Yeah, some of the best players in the world get paid less, and they've done more in a single season of football than some of these guys have done their entire careers. So, just to find some common ground here to make sure that we're understanding the situation here. It's like, yeah. If you got no money, where is the stadium coming from then, Fuzzy? The government. No, seriously, it's coming from the government. That's what Ineos want to do. These guys are so fucking stingy with their money. They literally will not outright pay money to renovate, not just either renovate Old Trafford or build a new stadium, but the whole surrounding area. There's one thing that Qatar would have done that Ineos won't do, is the whole area, they would have made it their own. They would have said, this is the place of the home of Manchester United. Look at all of these great things that we've built when we own this land, this part of land. We build all of these great things, a sports city, right? And at the very center of it is Manchester United. They would have put the money up to bring that project to life. That's what their plan was. And they would have also, at the same time, cleared off billions of pounds worth of debt within the first goddamn week of taking charge. And half of these players would have already have left the club, I'm sure of it, because I don't know this is what I ultimately believe. Sheikh Jassim, right, a self-acclaimed Man United fan, is more of a Manchester United fan right now than Sir Jim Ratcliffe ever was. So much for a lifelong United supporter, right, who spent his days chasing after every other club that is not Manchester United and only getting it on the precipice of a partial ownership versus a guy that wanted full ownership of this dream club, never chased anybody else beforehand, and since then has had every opportunity to go stick a bid in the door of every other club out there and has done absolutely nothing. He has sat back and said, right, I'm not taking over a club then. If it's not Manchester United, I'm not buying a club. Sir Jim Ratcliffe cannot say that. He cannot say that. Qatar and Sheikh Jassim can say that because they're proving it right now. They're not chasing after any other clubs. Sheikh Jassim has said, well, I would like, if the opportunity had arisen, I would like to buy Manchester United because the opportunity to do so was there. And the best case scenario for a Manchester United ownership went out the door because people wanted a partial ownership. And now we're watching the biggest cost cutting exercise, so much so that instead of paying money to get rid of players to fix the true issues at this club, apparently it's a bigger issue, a bigger priority issue, that you cut funding to charities, fucking club charities, before you even look at paying contracts to terminate players. What the fuck do people have to do, yeah, to see more importance in clearing out charity? It's charity, for fuck's sakes. It's tens of thousands a year. And you're putting that above players that have sunk this club to historic lows on hundreds of thousands a week and are no closer to leaving Manchester United than they were when they first stepped foot in the door. How can a club have so many backwards priorities for so long? The full sale, and this is why when on Christmas Eve, when they announced Ineos were taking over, a part of me fucking died. A part of me died with the potential future of this fucking club. A part of me died with the dream. A dream where Man United were owned by people that actually loved the club, that cared about the club. Have you no shame that we've come to a point where charity takes a back seat to paying players that disgrace the club, that disgrace its heritage, that disgrace the fans every single week. Every fan out there, right? All the kids in the hospitals, right, that get visited by Manchester United players. Guess what? Those fans, payment, monetary coverage, or anything, that sponsorships, whatever, you name it, any support to those kids who are sick and dying in hospital, guess what? You are not important in comparison to Marcus Rashford getting his wages, getting paid 300k plus a week. You are not more important than Bruno collecting his wages. How's that? How's that for priorities? Since when does a club put paying toxic, cancerous fucks, yeah, in a higher standing than people who are dying on the streets and dying through misfortunes? Yeah. Charity work. Charities. No, can't afford that. But I can definitely afford giving Bruno Fernandes a 300k a week contract. I can definitely afford that. Just remember that. Massive pay rise for Bruno in the summer with a new contract, but you're cutting costs to charities half a year later. Says a lot about you, doesn't it, as a stooge businessman, doesn't it? Fucking failed businessman. I don't study business and I could get this the right fucking way round. Do you know what I have? A fucking heart and a fucking brain that can put two and two together. That has a fucking single thought of common sense that goes through my brain once a day. Still more than you can seemingly achieve in half a year. Looks like you'll have to sell before you buy, Fuzz. That's what the media keep telling us, man. You have to cut the cost on players to bring new talent. Well, that's just the problem with the players that we've got. You know, cutting these wages down, yeah, sure, that's what we want to do, but no one can fucking afford these players, so we can't get the wages off the bill. So that's not going to work. So if the player, if you can't sell a player, you cut your losses. You cut your losses. You just say, well, whatever it takes, whatever it takes. If the club is bleeding money, surely you'd think, well, the most important thing is stopping the bleeding. Just a thought, just an idea. Maybe stop the bleeding. Maybe show the urgency to actually get your priorities straight. I like this fuzzy fuck this and fuck that. I want to see this on Wednesday shows now. Fuzzy fuck bastard. I love it. Of course, rival fans will love it, but this is the reality of what sort of passion that Manchester United fans should have for their club. But we're so backwards. Honest to God, we are so backwards, and so many people who just walk in and walk out of Manchester United They Nobody gets it. Nobody gets it. We see it. The PR spin statements. Oh, I love this club. I've always loved this club since I was a kid. Well, if you are a player who performs like shit, you loved United as a kid, find some shame and hang up your boots. Retire. Retire. Agree to cancel your contract and become a free agent or fuck off. Just do whatever it takes to have some shame and say that the best thing I want from Man United is to be the best. It is evident that my honest self verdict is that I am not good enough for this club. Where is the honesty? Marcus Rashford, lifelong Manchester United supporter, right? Nobody understands what it means to play for this club more than him. Yeah, Mr. PR statement. Guess what? Players who perform like shit and behave like shit usually get told to actually apologize and take accountability. What's Rashford not done? He has not come out and said, I apologize to the fans for acting like an idiot, for acting like a twat. I'm making so many bad choices in my personal life. It's affected my game. I've gone off the rails. I'm surrounded by Glazers, and not the Glazer family, by the way. I'm talking about the sort of action that goes on in the back door area for some of you sick fucks out there. He surrounds himself with the worst people. The worst people for a brutal world. The last thing you need is someone that just coddles you and coddles you and coddles you some more. The last thing you need, because that's what the people that will tell you, oh, you've made it now, Marcus. You've made it now. You're here now. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. Lionel Messi, in the best years at Barcelona, did not have to prove anything to prove that he was the best player in the world. And he still gave everything. He still gave everything to upkeep the expectation, because people around him would say, oh, well, that's shit. That needs to be better. You want to be the best player in the world. You don't drop your standards for fucking anything. How does Cristiano Ronaldo stay at the very top of his game at the age of 30, 38, 39? By upholding standards. When he knows that something's not good enough, he realizes it. He realizes it. Hawela lads, big ups Mama Flossie. Congratulations on your win today. Fuzzy fuming mum, they said Barcelona on his chat. No way he said that, Anthony. He never swears. That's right, Anthony. I never fucking swear. What are you talking about? I thought he didn't, but bloody hell, he's going for it. Well, maybe this just becomes a weekly occurrence, this. That I talk less about the results and the games. I talk less about that. Talk more about the situation. Keep the focus away from the games of football. The games of football are not actually all that important in respects to the bigger issue at the club, the bigger picture. The club's dying. It's literally dying in front of everyone's eyes. And all I can see on every social media sphere is, oh, the manager's crap. Oh, this player's bad. Oh, that player's bad. Oh, this player should be playing. Round and round and round we go. But no one seems to actually clock that this club might as well be renamed to Titanic FC. And guess what? The iceberg ain't coming, guys. The iceberg has already hit. The ship is sinking. The ship is sinking. Big up, Fuzzy. Big ups to you, Mama. Oh, and big ups to everybody who's liked the stream as well. Appreciate it. But this, it's just how much we we can't say that this is at the bottom of the barrel either, because there's still like we can still go further. We really can still go further, but it's just at every level we look, something's wrong. Something's terminally ill. This club is terminally ill, and it's not going to be too much more before something has to break. And I honestly, I want to believe that this fan base has it in them. That if it really gets too much, they will snap and they will perform something you've never seen before. A hostile takeover, never seen before. A forced sale. Force the sale of the club. You shut the club down, cease its operations, doing shit that ultimately pushes everybody over the edge. Like it's around the corner. It's around the corner. I just don't know just how low this is going to get. I've seen you trying tonight, but the results are not there. The trying isn't enough though, because we know these players. We know that they switch it on and off. There's just no care. It's just no care. Maybe it's to Oregon Gooner, my hero. You need a roof and some rat poison before you start selling off or buying players. Well, I mean, one of the rats was suspended for this game, so I suppose just get them red cards is a good way of controlling the rat infestation at Old Trafford. Just dish out red cards. Did you hear that Southgate got a knighthood? For absolutely nothing. For getting a nation to wear some waistcoats and singing some songs for a couple of summers, that's enough to warrant a knighthood in this country. Talk about lowering standards or low standards on the floor. Go on, Fuzzy, let him know. Yeah, that's before he joins West Ham, man. Fingers crossed. How low? It ain't limbo. You guys are getting beaten with a stick like a pinata. Well, this is the thing. It's give the stick to Southampton, then that Southampton will be like the quiet kid. The quiet kid that's really short. He can't reach the pinata, but you'll still beat the fuck out of it. He'll just get a ladder. He's just like, oh, Man United guy, you could everyone could beat us, but little Southampton can't. Nah, they'll just go get a ladder. Yeah, they'll climb up that ladder, and then they'll start beating the shit out of us. There you go. Give them a ladder, and they'll still do it. They'll still do it. That's Potter Anthony, not Southgate. Now Southgate's going West Ham. He's going West Ham. But anyways, guys, I'm going to wrap things up there because I don't know how much longer I can take going on talking about my club. I'm genuinely feeling more and more distance from my club. I'm losing the will to live with this club. I really, really am. So I'm just gonna focus on something else for the rest of the night. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate all the love and support. Appreciate everybody being here. Big ups to those that have hit the likes on the stream. Don't think, well, maybe there isn't a show on Wednesday with the good, the bad, and the ugly. No therapy this week. Probably there's going to be some sort of fallout over the next couple of days. The transfer window's opening soon. So, maybe the PR goes into absolute overdrive and Yeah, I just don't know. I don't know. Even if PR goes into overdrive for United, it's just I don't even think transfer stories are going to be enough to distract United from the misery that is. All I've been seeing is Arsenal show on about Isaac, and we're not getting him in January. Let Arsenal let the top gooners dream. Dream. Nightle. Good night, Mama Flossie. Thanks for tuning in. Oyster Potter, but we said to wind up, Tom. No, I think we'll give him the cope. Yeah. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and if you don't see me before January 1st, then Happy New Year's to everybody. Um, hope everyone's got their New Year's resolution sorted out. My New Year's resolution is to batter the fuck out of Man United if they decide to piss me off even more in the New Year. So yeah, thanks to everybody for tuning in. Appreciate you all watching. Good show for us. Thanks for tuning in, Anthony. And yeah, we'll speak to you again soon. Take care.